are you drunk or something? What, are you punch drunk? And Obama was just spewing this fake. I mean, it's totally fake. Gerald Celente, stay there. You've been saying this is a fascist country and there needs to be a revolution. All right, I want to move through a lot of quick questions for Gerald Celente. We'll take a few of your calls, too, before he leaves us at 1-800-25-99231. Obama's job, and I want to see if you agree with this, sir, is to stall the left long enough for the banks to end up exsanguinating or sucking the nation dry, and to also drive a left-right wedge. You notice how the media is trying to say anybody who protests the taxes is a racist, period. That's been a talking point on CNN and MSNBC, like parrots. And then you've got Fox playing the part of, oh, yes, this is all right-wing. Then they've automatically got the people divided. If 98% are against the banker takeover, they got to make it a left-right issue, don't they? Do you see folks, I mean, can you speak to that system of control? And then do you see that working with your trends research?
Well, the left is going to stay with Obama regardless of what he does, just like they did with Clinton. As I said, the liberals are bigger hypocrites than the conservatives. The conservatives believe what they're doing. The liberals turn blind eyes and make excuses. On the issues of the tax revolts and how they've divided this between left and right, it's very important to understand what's going on here, in the sense that if you go back to our Trends Journal, and this went out in December of 2007 for our top trends coming up in the coming years, one of them was tax revolts. Now remember, Bush was president when we wrote this, and this is what we said. It was the reason for starting the first American Revolution, and as the trends add up, it will also be a reason for starting the second. Fed up and not willing or able to take it anymore, overtaxed Americans will begin the battle against politicians and bureaucrats in the fight to lower and or repeal taxes. This has nothing to do with Obama. This has to do with property taxes, school taxes, sin taxes, hassle taxes, sales taxes. People are losing their jobs. They're losing their homes. They've lost, Alex, in the last year, $11 trillion worth of wealth. The American people, in terms of stocks and lost values in their homes. That's what this is about. This has nothing to do with left or right. And what's happening are different people out there are exploiting it, particularly the politicians and some of the people in the media. This is not a left-wing. What we called it was a coalition of the cash-strapped will lead a mainstream American tax battle. We wrote this in 2007. So we always get a kick out of how the people that didn't see it coming are now saying what it's all about, and then they proclaim what's going to happen next. History was made. Start over as I interrupted you. Then we have Janine Garofalo on CNN and the Rachel Maddow on MSNBC. What a disgusting, snotty little thing she is. My God, that snooty little... Oh, I watched that with... It felt like, I couldn't stand Howard Cosell in the old days when I used to watch that stuff, and I wanted to smash the television. When I heard her going on with her snide little teabagging routine that she must have said 100 times in 10 minutes, it's those people that are trying to deride everyone that this is a pocketbook issue. This has nothing to do with ideology.
Well, that's what I was going to say next, and she cold-bloodedly knows that, and Oberman was there. I lost all respect for him, knowingly saying that we were engaged in weird fellatio. For those that don't know, that's what the teabagging thing is. To see national TV, Anderson Cooper was doing it on CNN, and then she said they're all racist, they hate black people. That is the racism she is injecting into the middle of a tax revolt, people going bankrupt, losing their homes, $12.8 trillion stolen in 6 months, foreign banks looting everything. we're on the verge of riots, and she injects race into it. So poor black folks, when they see people out there protesting, even though there's a lot of black folks there, think it's a giant Ku Klux Klan rally. Is that not literally psychological terror that she was engaging in?
It is, and this is what they're trying to do. Did you hear this Axelrod, this David Axelrod, the senior White House advisor, calling? He said that the Tea Party movements are, quote, unhealthy. You know, this has to go down as one of the 10 dumbest statements ever made in history.
Stay right there. Stay right there. Gerald Celente is our guest. Just absolutely amazing interview. Let's come back and talk about your statements on Russian television and on ABC News about revolution in the United States. Gerald Celente is our guest. We'll give you his website when we come back. Stay with us. He's in the Obama deception. He's Gerald Celente. Be sure and check out his website, trendsresearch.com. One word, trendsresearch.com. Big fat link up on Infowars.com. If you forget the URL, I suggest you subscribe to it. Okay, let's start over there because we got cut in by the break. Garofalo, she knows, as snot-nosed as she is, and I've actually used that term myself. It's a good term for them. They know, though. They think they're these big, smart geniuses. They're desperate. They know they're parasites. They're not really liberals. It's like Margaret Sanger, all her private papers, how much she hated blacks and wanted to kill them all. But she would go around explaining to the blacks how much she loved them as a liberal and, you know, let's just sterilize you or have an abortion. It's the same thing with these people. They love to pimp around limousine liberals, you know, like they're helping everybody and they're good. But her and Oberman scientifically know that 98% of the American people, and that's a conservative number, some polls show 99% against the banker takeover, as you know, Gerald, are together. So they got to make this a left-wing, right-wing issue, and Fox financing, trying to take that over. They're the party out of power, the Republicans, so they can act like they're patriots now. Rick Perry and all these politicians. Can you elaborate on that? And I mean, just the cold-blooded treason of this, trying to get the American people fighting with each other, and on national TV injecting race and racism into things so that black folks, when you see them, you know, at the grocery store, think you're out to get them. I mean, this is amazing.
Well, again, what they're trying to do, as we see it, with minimizing this tax revolt, is that this has legs. As I said, we're the folks that saw it coming first and wrote about it, as far as we know. And we're saying this was historical event. So when you have the president's senior White House advisor, Axelrod, going on Face the Nation, and saying this is a country where we value liberties and our ability to express ourselves, and he goes, these expressions are unhealthy. And then you have that guy Carville, he called the Tea Party movements, quote, harmless and damaging to Republicans. So clearly what they're trying to do is they know the power of this, and they're trying to marginalize it by putting people in these categories. This has nothing to do with ideology. Are there libertarians and Republicans out there? Of course there are. But they're just angry people that are losing everything, and that's the bigger picture.
And this is meant to keep the Democrats from coming out and joining the American people, the Democrats that are...
Exactly. Exactly. It's keeping the Democrats and other people out from joining them, and they're driving a wedge, and they're doing a good job at it. But it's only going to be temporary, because when it gets down to the pocketbook issue, then it becomes real, which, by the way, that's the next thing. And as you well know from our Trends Journal, in the spring edition, we wrote a lot about it, and that this recovery that we're seeing is in the stock market, what we called it was a false flag recovery. These banks, as you well know, they're now allowed to value their toxic assets at any number that they want to give them, and they're producing fake earning increases. And it's like you give me a couple of $1 billion, I'll report some earnings increases. Oh, I'll show you profit. Give me some more billions. This thing is going down. It's going to be nonstop. And the people that don't see what's coming and do not take preventive measures, and you pointed it out very clearly in the Obama deception, and if anyone didn't see it yet, they don't know what they're missing. and people need to know this, that they better take precautionary measures now because the ship is sinking. And as you well know also, Alex, they're calling what we're putting out pessimism porn. You know, and they have this, you know, and they laugh about it. Oh, you know, Celente predicted this. He predicted
Gerald,
the fall of the Soviet Empire.
let me stop you. Let me stop you there for just a second. I need you to. Your phone receiver's so good, it's kind of overdriving. So back off the phone a bit because I want folks to be able to. No. It's probably our fault. But yeah. Start over with this pessimism porn, and then that leads into my next question. We have these MIAC reports that we broke, and then the federal reports saying those buying guns are the number one threat to the government and ammo. Reports that the veterans are the number one threat. So they built up this anti-terror apparatus, as I've been predicting for years. They then swung it around overnight and pointed it at the tax protesters, gun owners.